Okay, welcome back. First lesson we talked about the major scale. As you can see here, we worked on using the C, and then I showed you how to build um, major scale off of the G and then off of the E. Okay, so today I'm going to teach you how to do the minor scale, which this is the natural minor. Is what we're going to work with. And if you didn't understand how to build the major scale, or you don't understand, go back, look at the first lesson, and that'll hopefully help explain a lot. Okay. So I'm gonna get my fat head out of the video so you can see what I'm doing here, and let's get started. All right. So quick refresher. We said major scale is a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. As far as steps. Okay. So if you can build a major scale, like I said, on a C, it'll be C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right. So that would be the C major scale. Are these notes up here? All right. Now, if we want to do the C minor, we're going to take a few different steps. When you change a major scale to a minor scale, um, what you do is you're actually flattening the third, the sixth, and the seventh note of the scale. Okay? So let's actually do it right here. We'll do it this way. Let's write out our C major scale. So we got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then back to the octave. Okay? This is the major. And this will be down here, we'll do C minor. Okay, so what we're going to do is we start off same way. And for a minor scale, these steps that we normally would do, it's actually going to be, easiest way to remember how to do a minor is you start from this position. You go to a whole to a half, so it's whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Okay? And I'll explain that here in a second. All right, so C minor scale, we'll start with the C, same way as our major. Your root note's always, major minor is always going to be the same. That's your root. That's why it's called the root. So we got our C chord, okay? Now we're going to take a half step instead of a whole step this time. So we're not going to a D, we're only going a half step. So, boom, we go up here. Or, I'm sorry, yeah. We go a whole step. Our first step's a whole step, okay? Let me move this over so I can explain this. C, all right? We're going a whole step for the, so we go to a D. So far, we're looking the same as far as our major and our minor. C to D, all right? Now we go a half step. So a D to an E, like we did before, won't work. This is our third note. It's going to be flattened. We're only going a half step, so we're going up here to this. Don't want to call it a D sharp. We already have a D in our scale, so we're going to call this E flat. All right? So our half step puts us at the E flat. Alrighty. So now we go a whole step, which takes us to, we're at the E flat. We go 1, 2 tones, semitones to make a whole tone. So it puts us at the F. All right. And then another whole step puts us at the G. And if you notice, C, D, E, F, and G, so far the only difference is this third note. Okay. Then we go to the fifth note. We're only going a half step this time, so we're going to go from the G up there, which is the A flat. Remember, we don't want to call it a G sharp because we already have a G in the scale, so that's A flat. Alright. So we have our whole step, we have our half step, we have a whole step, half step, and then from the A flat we go a whole step to the C. I'm sorry, to the, yeah, let me take a look at this. You've got the A flat, which is up here. We're going to go a whole step, so it puts you A, and then to the B flat, Okay. Remember, we don't want to call it a sharp because we already have an A in our scale. So it's a B flat. Then we have another whole step, semitone, back to our C. Okay. So I'm gonna erase these and move them so you can actually see. Underneath we've got whole step, half step, whole, half, whole step. Okay? A little bit of a difference in the scales, all right, as far as your progressions. And how I always remember this is if you have a major scale, let's Roman numerals these, okay? This is your 1, this is your 2, this is your 3, this is your 4 note, this is your 5, that's your 6, this is your 7. Right now they're all in capital Roman numerals. When we actually get into chords and majors and minor chords, they change. Minors are lowercase, majors are upper. That's how you differentiate. All right, and then this is your 8, which is basically your same as your octave. Okay. So when you're building a minor scale, you have a different step process, obviously. But a quicker way to remember it is you can remember those steps and work through it to start out with. But if you know your major scale and you know how to build a major scale quickly once you get that down, when you're building a minor scale, your 3rd, your 5th, your 6th, and your 7th are all flat. They just go back a semitone. If you take a look, E flat, okay, A turns into an A flat, B turns into a B flat. All right, so for your natural minor, your 3rd, your 6th, and your 7th are all flat. So this way, that's how I remember it. It's good to remember this step so you can actually sit down and build one out. But if you already know how to build your major scale, flat and 3rd, flat and 5th, and flat and 6th, or 6th and 7th, I'm sorry, keep doing that. Build your minor scale. Okay? So that is how you build a natural minor scale. Very simple. Like I said, it's a different step process. Instead of a whole step, half, whole, half, you've got a whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. And the easiest way to remember is when you memorize your major scale steps, start from that 6th. You start from there, you start from the whole step, half step, the last part of it, which is the same as here, and then the rest is the same. Whole, half, whole. It's just you're starting from there and going that way with it. All right. Which down the road, when we get to relative minors, major scales with their relative minors, that's where this comes into play. All right. So that is how to build your natural minor scale. All right. Pretty simple. We can let's do one more just so you can understand how to do it. This is a lot of stuff going on here. Let's go with we'll do G again because it's very common, like I said before, very common guitar key to playing. So let's go with a G major and then we'll do the G minor. All right. So we've got our G. All right. So we'll go our whole step, which will be A. We got another whole step, which will be B. All right, whole step, a half step from B to a C. Then we got another whole step, which is the D. Another whole step, which is an E. Another whole step, which is the F sharp, as we discussed in the last video. And then a half step brings you back to your G. All right. All right, so there is our steps through. I was doing the semitone. Well, we won't get into that today. We'll leave those off. All right, there's your G major. G major. Let's do G minor now for you. Okay, G minor. You've got your 1. I'm going to number them this way for right now instead of Roman numerals, just to make it easier for you. You got your 1, your 2, your 3, your 4, 5, 6, 7, And then your 8 is your octave, okay? That's what they call an octave. All right. So, in case you haven't noticed, major scale, 7 notes. Minor scale, 7 notes. All right, your 1, obviously it's a G. We're in the key of G, G minor. All right, you go a whole step, and then it's going to be an A. All right. Remember, only a half step now, and it's our third. We want to flatten it, so it's going to be B flat. All right. Your 4 and your 5 are going to be the same. C and D, because those are your whole step and your whole step. All right. Now we go to the 6th, which is going to be flattened again. It's an E flat. You're flattening your 6th. And you're also going to flatten your 7th, which is an F sharp. So now it just becomes an F. All right. And then back to your G. Very simple. Like I said, when you go from major to minor, that note, and that note become flats. Very simple. You just flatten them down, B flat, F sharp to an F. Okay? So there you go. That's your natural minor. So now you know how to build a major and a natural minor scale. And in the next video, I'm going to get into triads and how to build basic chords now that you have this understanding down. Okay? So there you go. Thank you.